Morning all, Daniel at Ashville here. This morning is going to be a little bit different. We've had a call from a site round the corner where fly tipping has unfortunately taken place as people are taking advantage of the COVID situation. We at Ashville like to help in any way we can, so we're going to go around there and see if we can help. We're going to go around to the fly tip site and we're going to pick up as much rubbish as we can and we're going to tip in Powerday Scrubs Lane. Everybody got it? Let's do it. Unfortunately, through this COVID pandemic, the streets haven't been as busy, so opportunists are going into building sites, they're charging people to take away their rubbish, and they're looking for areas to dump the rubbish. Ashville have been asked to help, so we're going to go down there with 4 grabs, and we're going to do repeated loads and see if we can get this space cleaned. We're going to take the rubbish and we're going to go down to Powerday in Scrubs Lane. Powerday have a state-of-the-art recycling centre where they recycle 99% of the waste which is brought into them. Fly tipping before the COVID pandemic was a problem. It's a problem for a number of reasons. The main problem is the damage that it does to the environment. I mean, it's terrible. Another problem of that is operators like myself who try to operate above board. We try to tip at licensed centres. We try to take it places where it will be recycled as much as possible because we're trying to go for zero landfill. People who fly tip, because they don't have the same expenses and the same outgoings, they do work for a lot cheaper. So if you can imagine someone pulls up outside your house or on a building site and, for instance, let's say we're charging £200 to take the rubbish away, they're charging £50 to take the muck away. I mean, anyone who does business, they're obviously going to go for the cheaper option. However, unbeknown to them, the cheaper option is resulting in their waste damaging the environment in the local area. So it wasn't easy, but we've managed to get into the site. I tell you, the guys who come in here and tip, they really wanted to tip in here. But we've managed to get in now, and now we're going to start loading. So the majority of the waste tipped on this site is mixed construction waste, which is a mix of timber, plasterboard, plastic, and other household fixtures and fittings. We use grab lorries for these sort of jobs, as grab lorries have cranes which drivers can load themselves with, so they can pick up anything, any timber, any plasterboard, or any weird shaped objects, and they can place them into body themselves and then transport them. As you can see, they're very busy, so we're waiting in the queue to tip. So we're going to tip this load off and we're going to get back to the site and try and clear it all today. Right, so a bit of scenery change. The boys have tipped off downstairs and they've gone back to site to take another load. I have come upstairs in Powerday to come and meet with the owner of Powerday, Ed, who's also a good friend of mine. I want to introduce Ed, and Ed will tell you a little bit more about Powerday and what they do.
We've been operating for nearly 40 years now, family-run business. Granddad started it, then my dad took it over, now I've taken it over. So yeah, we've worked on a fly tip this morning. Fly tips are a huge problem at the minute with everything that's going on. COVID related, it's increased massively. So we're coming across a lot of these now, and we're partnering with Dan. We've been in a partnership for a good few years now to help clear these sites.
Ed will get the call from the local authority and he'll get on the phone to me and say, Dan, I need you to be here, here and here. And I'll say, how many loads do you think it is? He'll give me a rough guesstimation and I'll send either the grabs or the tippers or the Arctics down. We'll get loaded and we'll come down here and we'll tip up in his state-of-the-art recycling centre.
We can process up to 1.6 million tonnes a year. We divert 100% of the waste from landfill, recycling as much as we can where possible through the investment we've made into the facility here. We operate the facility 24 hours a day. As you can see on here, we've got access by wharf as well, by barge. And this is a unique selling point for the site, and we've got rail access as well. So that reduces the amount of vehicles that are going onto the road, which reduces our carbon footprint.
And I thought that Ashville was serious because we had a rail line. Powerday have a rail line and a barge. So they have water and rail. So we've got a lot to do. I'd like to thank Ed for working alongside us, letting us use the facility and telling us a bit about his fantastic facility. Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, Dan.
Now I've got to get back to work. So we're back on site at the end of the day. As you can see by this lovely space, the residents and the wildlife will be a lot happier. Let us know how fly tipping through the COVID period has affected you in your local area. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here for the Ashville channel. And click here to watch another Ashville video.